Good evening. I'm calling to order the Ascension Parish Finance Committee meeting for January 30th, 2020. I'd ask all to please rise for the invocation and pledge. The invocation by Councilman Corey Orgeron.
Everybody, if you would, please prepare yourselves for prayer. Lord, thank you for this beautiful Thursday, this wonderful day in Ascension Parish. We enjoyed great sunshine, great temperature. We know that those blessings come directly from you. Father, we ask that you continue to guide us, allow us to work with your grace, with your strength, and with your power, that we can aptly represent all the individuals of Ascension Parish, and that we continue to recognize and respect each other's efforts through good times and through disagreements, Lord. We all fail in your eyes, but we all know that with your grace and with your love, we will succeed. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call, Madam Secretary. Councilman Dempsey Lambert is absent. Dempsey had shoulder surgery and will not be with us tonight. All other council members are present. Chair's additions. One thing I wanted to add that ask folks to keep in your prayers and thoughts and prayers. Dempsey Lambert's family. His sister passed away and her service was today, so please keep Dempsey and his family in your prayers. Also, I'd like to take this time to thank our secretary, Ashley Barnes, for being here. Mr. Parish President, welcome. Thank you for being here. And Gwen and your staff for all the hard work you do. Thank you very much. For public comment period, which is next, if you have a comment on any agenda item, there are cards at the podium. You can fill out a card, bring it to the secretary, and we'll get you up there and have you speak. Going into general business, item 5, renewal of contract between Ascension Parish Government and G&D PM Consulting for owner's representation for the new Ascension Parish Courthouse and other duties as required for a total annual amount of $49,900.
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Any objection?
Mr. Chairman, if I may, I'd just like to, Gasper is here. I want to thank him for his diligence in this work. This is a very important job on behalf of this council and on behalf of the people of Ascension Parish. We appreciate every step you take out there on that construction site. We appreciate your meetings that you hold. I have heard how succinct and capable you are in your presentation. I'm grateful for that. Thank you very much. And Mr. President, thank you for continuing Gasper in these duties. We're grateful to you for that.
Anybody else?
Mr. Chairman.
I'd like to just go ahead.
I'd also like to say I had the privilege of spending a morning last week with Mr. Gasper, who was he called me up, was very informative. So just let everybody know if you'd like to meet with him one-on-one, he's happy to give up his time to do so.
And I'd also like to echo comments by Terry and Chase that I've known Gasper for a long time. We've been friends, but I keep checking behind to see if he's doing what he's supposed to be doing for us. And all the reports I get have been good and excellent. So we ask you to keep up the good work. Thank you. Moving along, item number 6 on the agenda, change order number 3. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me back up. I have a motion and a second. And
I'm so glad you did that because I do it all the time.
Are there any objections?
None.
The motion passes. Item 6, change order number 3, Musio Architect LLC for the Galvez Lake Station number 51 for design and fee and reimbursable expenses by an additional amount of $20,111.10 for a contract not to exceed amount of $150,111.10. Mr. Gene Wietek and Josh Wingirter, Fire District number 3.
Refer to the numbers, man, and he's going to explain what we've got 4 of them there with the 4 stations that we have under construction.
All right.
Good evening, Council.
This Lake, Galvez Lake 51 is for the original project budget was based on.
Excuse me, would you state your name for the record?
Oh, I'm sorry. My name is David Mujo with Mujo Architecture.
Okay.
So Galvez Lake number 51, the original budget was 1.4 million. So the fire department increased the budget. We received the bids in, and it was a higher bid, and they elected to go with the project. Our fee was based on a percent for architecture and engineering. So we readjusted the fee based on the bid amount that was awarded.
Okay.
And it also covers reimbursable expenses for the bidding documents and the fire marshal and local permitting fees.
Okay. Any questions? Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Sorry. Okay.
So the increase, it's because the bid on the job was higher than expected?
The bid on the project was higher than what was initially estimated. And when that happens in the architect and engineering, the owner either has an option to reduce the cost, reduce the size of the building, and keep it in the budget, or can elect to move forward with it as is, and that's what they elected to do, the fire district number 1.
Okay, on the agenda items, I see a bunch of receipts dated back from May of 2018 to February of 2019 and on and on. So is that not in the original budget for the fire departments, or is it just because the overall price went up? Y'all just went up on some fees to?
Well, we have some reimbursable expenses in our contract, and those are the drawings that we print. We send those off to get prints done for the reviews and the permitting, and then we have fees that we have to pay to get the projects through the fire marshals and the local permitting. The parish actually has a fee they charge us on some of the review fees that we have to pay. So that's just a pass-through reimbursable. There's no markup for us. It's just paying back our expenses.
And just out of curiosity, I see between the 4 fire stations, it looks like change orders number 3, 5, 7, and 5. That's 20 change orders on 4 projects. Just for background, what were some ballpark circumstances for the other ones
I can give you some
that we keep coming
ballpark.
back?
Okay, the first 2 projects that we sent out was Sorrento and Geismar. Sorrento site, first right out of the ground, we ran into some bad soil, and they had to cut about 3 to 4 feet of soil out on the whole building pad and the paving, and all of that was wooded. So we had a geotechnical report done, but it just wasn't anticipated with the geotechnical report that the soil was that bad at that 3-foot level. So there was no way for the general contractors that bid it to know they had to remove and haul off that much dirt. So they charged a change order there. There's a couple of change orders where the fire district asked us to make some changes. They wanted a connector driveway between the 2 driveways that go into the site. So we had to make that modification. There was another change order. They asked for an alerting system. It's not a code required item, but it's something that they wanted to make sure that when they got a call, that wherever they was at in the station, they would be able to be alarmed, and alarm sounds when they get a call on their radios. So just a few of them, but there's definitely others.
So majority of them would be from either unforeseen, circumstances like the soil, or potential add-ons. I'm just curious if we're just adding on because we didn't get our number right the first time, or if there's actual, circumstances to where on the parish or the fire department side, we're adding on items, and it's not just, hey, we didn't, charge enough on the front end.
None of the change orders are from stuff that was missed in design. It was either
Okay.
unforeseen conditions. There was the water department charged, I think it was $18,000 for boring under Highway 22 for Sorrento. That was not the direction they were giving us when we were planning for the project. They were gonna come another route with the water, but they ended up saying, no, this is what we're gonna do, and this is what we're gonna charge to do it. So the contractor had to pay that cost. There's no way for them to get that in the price up front. So, so there was either that type of a change order or an owner request to make a change. There wasn't very many owner request changes, but, you know, the dirt, that was a pretty big change order. I would say that was 30-something grand just for the dirt at Sorrento. And, you know, we
Well,
did
thank you.
have
I
some,
was just curious if.
we did have some credit change orders too that was they would give some money back to the project.
Thank you, Chairman.
Anything else? Anybody have any questions? I'd like to have a motion.
I had a motion to approve.
Second.
Has been motioned by Councilwoman Cazo, second by Councilman Corey Orgeron. Any discussion? Any objection? So ordered. Number 7, change order number 5, use your architect LLC for the Geismar Fire Station number 80 for design fee and reimbursable expenses by an additional amount of $8,126.91 for a contract not to exceed the amount of $257,853.42.
Motion.
Second.
Motion by Travis Turner, second by Councilwoman Cazo. Any discussion?
Just a comment,
Any
sir.
objection?
David, I want to thank you all for the work that's going on in Geismar. I'm loving seeing that fire station coming up. I mean, those guys out there had been working out of terrible conditions long before the flood. And it is a real joy to see them have the kind of facility that they need to do the kind of work that they need to do in fire service and in assistance to our citizens in Ascension Parish. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
I will say, to an extent, the flood of 2016 gave us an opportunity to bring everything up to a very high level standard for firefighting, especially at our stations. So thank you for that hard work. There being no objections, the motion passes. Number 8, change order number 7, Architect LLC for the Santa Monica VFD stations number 60 and number 61 for design fee and reimbursable expenses for additional amount of $7,600.95 for substation 60 and an additional amount of $19,975 for substation 61 for a total contract not to exceed amount of $400,075.95.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Michael.
Second.
And second by Joel Robert. Any discussions, any questions, any objection? So ordered. Item 9, change order number 5, use your architects LLC for the Sorrento Main Fire Station number 20, for design fee and reimbursable expenses by an additional amount of $9,128.63 for a contract not to exceed amount of $245,832.14.
Motion.
Motion by Councilman Corey Orgeron.
Second.
Who's that? Second by
Second.
Michael Mason. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it,
Thank you.
David.
Thank you, David.
Moving on, council, item 10, renewal of contract for 2020 for Alicia Macy, evening substance abuse group leader with Ascension Counseling Center, 4 nights a week, in the amount of $34,000. Ms. Lisa Weber Curry, Ascension Counseling Center Director.
Good evening.
Thank you, Ms. Curry.
Yes, this is just a continuation of a contract from last year. Nothing changed in it. It's the same amount.
So we're renewing her contract.
Yes.
Motion by Councilman Turner, second by Councilwoman Cazo. Any discussion?
One here.
Councilman Orgeron.
Yes, ma'am. Could you give us a little idea as to what Miss Massey does? What's her job duties? What does she perform for us?
Yes. Ms. Massey is a licensed professional counselor, and she provides our substance abuse counseling to adolescents and adults. She does it from 4 to 6 p.m. for adolescents, Monday and Thursday, and from 6 to 8 p.m. Monday through Thursday for the adults.
Thank you. And been effective
Very
program?
effective. We actually have individuals calling us without substance abuse problems, requesting to join the group.
Wow. Fantastic. Thank you for the effort.
You're welcome.
Councilman Robert.
Yes, ma'am. This is definitely one of my interests, one of the things that I had on my platform, something that I'd like to get more involved in. Not saying that tonight's the night of that, but is Ms. Massey here tonight?
She is providing substance abuse counseling as we speak.
Okay. All right, that's all. Thank you.
Any other comments, questions? I got a motion and a second. Any discussion? Any objection? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Item 11, renewal of contract for 2020 with Intellicon Consulting, formerly Access Communications, for data wiring, network consulting, and phone system support in the amount of $47,500. Brandon O'Day.
Yes, sir. Good evening, Finance Committee. This is a renewal of the contract that we have with Intellicom. They're basically an extension of our staff as far as wiring and network support, and we've been getting them to help us with the security initiative that we have to prevent the cyber terrorism that's been going around the state. So it's definitely important to us, and we're just asking to renew it again this year.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion by Councilwoman Terry Cazzo, second by Councilman Aaron Lawler. Any discussions? Councilman Robert.
It sounds like this is all inside buildings and whatnot. You're not talking about phone infrastructure or anything outside in the community?
Correct.
Any type of towers or anything like that?
No, sir, this is only within
So
the
you're
parish
like your
government
actual system
buildings.
inside the building in Michigan?
Correct.
Okay.
Any other questions? Okay. A motion and a second. With no objections, the motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brandon. Item 12, monthly contract report, Sandra Pereira. Welcome, Sandra. How are you?
Thank you. Good evening. We have before you a list of both contracts that were entered into in November of 2019 and December of 2019. If y'all have any questions?
Take a minute to review those, if you would, council members. All righty. Thank you for your report.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Going to finance reports, item 13, revenue and expenditure report. Amanda?
Good evening. Before you are the financial reports for the month of November 2019, which reflects 92% of the year. The first two pages of the report are on the major funds, which includes general funds, sales and use tax district number 1, sales and use tax district number 2, East Ascension drainage, and road and bridge. The first column of the report shows you the actual year-to-date as of November 2018, where you can compare it to actual year-to-date November 2019. The next column shows you encumbrances, which includes all obligations, obligated expenses either entered into by contract or purchase order. The next column shows you the 2019 budget, and then the next column is the remaining balance of the budget compared to the actual and the percent of the budget used. Your general fund, your total revenues are at 89%. Your total expenditures are at 86%. Sales tax number. Also, the report also shows you the projected ending fund balance as of November of 2019. Sales tax number 1, revenues are at 108%, expenditures are at 79%. Sales tax number 2, revenues are at 105%. Expenditures are at 91%. East Ascension Drainage Operating Fund, revenues are at 98%. Expenditures are at 96%. Road and Bridge Operating Fund, total revenues at 102%. Expenditures are at 86%. The next, page 3 and 4, are the enterprise funds, and that includes Lamar Dixon, Parish Utilities of Ascension, ACUD number 2, and ACUD number 1. In the format of these 2 pages are the same format as the previous pages. So for Lamar Dixon, your revenues are at 79%, your expenditures are at 81%. Parish Utilities of Ascension, revenues are at 85%, expenditures are at 130%. ACUD number 2, revenues are at 99%, expenditures are at 87%. ACUD number 1, revenues are at 95%, expenditures are at 92%. The next page, page 5 is your major capital funds. And that includes Road and Bridge Capital Fund, East Ascension Major Capital Fund, Courthouse Capital Fund, and Move Ascension Capital Fund. The revenues for Road and Bridge Capital Fund is at 8%. Expenditures are at 96%. East Ascension Drainage revenues are at 120%. Expenditures at 161%. Courthouse Construction revenues at 103%. Expenditures at 257%. Move Ascension total revenues are at 106%. Expenditures are at 50%. The last page of the report gives you the cash and investment position of the parish year-to-date as of November 2019 compared to November 2018. The total cash for November 2019 is $276,363,109. Of which $247,787,507 is restricted, and $28,575,602 is unrestricted. Compared to November of 2018, total cash of $263,151,505, with $229,440,646 being restricted and $33,710,859 unrestricted. And below reflects the breakdown between unrestricted and restricted cash for 2019 and gives a listing of the funds that's associated with each. And if you have any questions, I would be happy to answer.
I just have a question on the cash and investment positions, the comparison. Unrestricted change since November of 2018. That $5,135,258. Can you give us a brief explanation of how that came to be?
Most of it was due to the general fund. It was money that we were reimbursed from the flood.
Is that FEMA?
Yeah. And so that's the biggest difference in the cash.
Okay. Any other questions? Mr. President, anything? Okay. Any other questions? Okay. Thank you so much, Nana. We appreciate your report. Item 14, bid items, to accept the lowest responsive bid. Cynthia LeBlanc from purchasing.
Good evening. On January 2nd, 2020, the purchasing department received 2 bids for the oil and grease bid. After review, the purchasing department and the public works department recommends accepting the lowest responsive bid submitted by Gilbert Oil Company and to authorize the parish president to enter into any applicable agreement or contract for this material.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion by Councilwoman Terry Cazzo, second by Councilman Aaron Lawler to approve the bid proposed. Any questions? Any objections? So ordered. And we're down to item
Motion to
number
adjourn.
15.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion by Councilwoman
Second.
Cazzo to adjourn, second by Councilman Aaron Lawler. Thank you all, gentlemen and lady, for your attention.